Hey guys, Let's Try That is back with another video, and I've been playing this game Factory Inc. for about 2 months or so, and I've been putting in quite a bit of time each day, and I would say that it's definitely been pretty fun, and I'm going to hit you with a few of the best tricks and tips I found to kind of expedite your progression through the game. So first I'm just going to go over some of the basics. The idea is it's a general collection game. You're just upgrading these different tools that process items, and the items have different values, and based on the tools you have, you can upgrade them such that the items will interconvert into something else. And each time an item is broken down, or I guess built, it gives you an opportunity to gain more money. So what I mean by that is I'll show you like something that's a little bit easier are these plastics, and as the red plastics approach these different machines, you'll see they change into a duck, into a fidget spinner, a bear, and then a robot, and all these items are worth different values. So the main objective here is to gain money so you can upgrade your different machines. So let's look at this machine for instance. If I want to upgrade it, all I do is press 1 octillion and it upgrades its power a little bit, not very much at all. So the first thing I would do when you start this game is to shoot for upgrading your factory. And the reason for this is no matter what value you have here, so let's say you're looking at the musical instrument, no matter if you got the guitar or the drum or whatever, the next category, the bullet, will always be worth more than everything behind it. So this is important for a few reasons. I'm just going to exit out of this ad really quickly. So I'm right back at it. Yeah, sorry about those ads. There are a ton of ads in this game. You can just like double tap and get out of it and reopen the app to avoid them sometimes. But anyway, I would recommend upgrading your factory. That's the first thing that you can do. And when this happens, you'll get a much higher value item, and that will get you more money. And once you have more money, you can upgrade your items. The next most important thing I think is like it has to do with residual income, or just earning more money on the side here. So what I would recommend is opening up as many factory additions as you can. So even ones that don't have any machines, like this one, I just have running on its own because it's just going to collect money. As of the phone's in my pocket just chilling, all this is active. But the biggest tool to succeed in this game, I think, is taking advantage of a few things in the correct order. And let me show you what I mean by that. The first is to click on this 200% bonus. So I have some oil because every day they give you different rewards, and today the reward was oil that allows you to upgrade without having watched the video, so that's useful. So we do the money booster. That gets a 200% increase in how much money we make. So we'll go ahead and switch this back to the most valuable item, which are these ships. And I haven't upgraded everything else, but you can see I'm really close to beating this game. And it takes a long time to do this without, didn't pay a single dime for anything. You can even see my shopping section. I have not spent anything. All these are still available to buy. I don't know if that proves anything, but I definitely haven't purchased anything with real money. And then we go to the 200% speed increase. We want to click that as well. So we have both those going on. And most people would stop here, and I actually think that this is a huge mistake. What you need to do next is click on this challenge button. And this is where you're going to get a huge amount of money. And this is what I found most useful. So if we go to our challenge, we'll generally get diamond prize, which is great, and we'll also get an insane amount of money. So I'll show you that right here. I'm gonna play the ad. I'm gonna cut this out. Alright, so after like 45-second long ad, you're gonna see these different hats here, and all you're gonna do is tap as fast as you can. And what I like to do is get set up with a thumb on each of these two areas. So I have a thumb over here where I'm tapping and a thumb over here. And this serves two purposes. I'm tapping back and forth, so I get a lot more opportunities for money, and I also activate the machines without the worker having to go over to reactivate machines that are broken. So what's critical about this is that I've increased the amount of speed in which these machines operate by that 200% increase. I've also increased the bonus by 200% prior to doing the challenge. So this dramatically affects how much money I make. I've tried this just on its own without those increases, and you get a huge reduction. So I failed the challenge because it was to get 152 octillion dollars, which is an insane amount. But here's the next step of this. I got 23 octillion dollars, which is huge. And I used the oil, I watched the video to double this. Now I have 94 octillion. So sorry for that ad, but now I have 94 octillion. And you can see I'm getting even closer to this 131 octillion. If I just let this run on its own, there's no way I'm even going to come close to these values. So basically all the opening of factories, upgrading these machines at the beginning is useful. Maybe around, let's see here, when you're dealing with home appliances, tool, furniture, I'd say the first 3 or so categories, that's useful to do. But after that, I would even start from the beginning, just going straight for the challenges, garner as much money as you can through that, and you'll be able to advance much more rapidly. Other than that, I would say the biggest thing after that is to upgrade your machines. So these machines, I have 94 octillion dollars, I'm looking at it now, so I need level 1050, I'm at 950. There's no way that I'm going to get close to this soon. It's going to be probably another week or so before I'm even able to get to that level. So what I'm thinking about now is like, okay, I can upgrade one of these machines by 25 points. It's not going to do that much. The shop, I could get quite a few boxes. So I'll go through that. I think that's probably the best use. So getting these general boxes gives you an opportunity to get more, I guess, I don't know what it's called, charge for your part, for your machine. So what I'll do here is I'll show you what I mean by that. So let's say this machine, I want to upgrade it, right? So it gives me a bonus of 1042 from level 10 to 11, and it costs 380 nuts or whatever, whatever you want to call these orange things. So you accrue those. I have 2,000 right now, and I've noticed that these two machines here are absolutely terrible. They're not worth any upgrades. I upgraded them. They're the most common that you get these energy bolts for, and I can see why, because they're absolute garbage. I would not recommend at all upgrading them. The one that I think is the most valuable for you probably starting off is going to be this level 14 here, this hammer machine. This is great. And then also, this was really awesome for me early on, the machine blender. And so yeah, I exited out of the ads almost without thinking about it, so sorry for cutting off there, but the machine blender is really good, and I'll show you why. So what it allows you to do is, we'll start off with some items that are like a little bit easier, is that it turns the item into multiple things with one attempt. Whereas the hammer, it hits it once, and if it's at an early stage, it'll just go to the next level. So what I mean by that is the rock will turn into the silver. Under the hammer, that's it. But under the blade, the machine blade, the rock will turn into the silver, the nut, the hammer, and the saw all in one. Watch that. See how it does that all almost in one motion? Because it can do damage over time instead of just one instance. So those two machines, I think, complement each other really well. I would start off with a machine blender at the beginning and then have the hammer at the end as my setup. I would focus on just one part of your factory. The others are not as good. And these specialty machines here, while they look really cool, like they do some interesting functions, like this one shoots it back. It may seem useful. This one has an interesting thing here. This other one, it just collects them and does damage all at one time. The problem really with them is, unless you're spending real money, you're not going to be able to upgrade them through this machine function. Because the only way to get more of these power bolts is to have an opportunity to get a super box or a legendary box. and those will give you the right amount of experience for those upgrades. But just the general boxes on their own, you won't get them, so I would say kind of don't even worry about upgrading those that much. I think this is, as far as I've realized, the optimal setup I have right now. Of course, I would want this to be a purple as well, but I'm doing pretty well, and I think I can definitely advance this. I have quite a few partitions here, and right now I'm trying to save up for the legendary box. Okay, here's another ad. And once I have a legendary box, I can update you about what it is. I've never gotten one before. I was kind of impatient and always got the lower threshold boxes, super box, but I imagine it's not going to be anything revolutionary. You just have to, if you're doing it without money, you got to stick with the core general box machines. And in this case, I think my strategy of doing this in the challenge is the best way. You're never going to spend time tapping here. That's going to get you nowhere. You get nothing. Okay? As you can see, like, the amount of money I'm making now is 3.42 quintillion a second. That's not going to even make any changes to my current amount of money. I could wake up tomorrow, the next day, a few days after. It's not going to be that noticeable. So the real money is going to be made by doing the challenges. And I think that's the biggest tip, is focus on doing the upgrades and doing the challenges at the same time. That's the biggest thing that I think I didn't see on any websites or any YouTube videos of people playing this game. They didn't realize that you could do that, and it dramatically improves how much money you make. Another thing is, definitely don't get suckered into doing this for sale. It doesn't really make much sense. It's basically you just start from the beginning and you get a small money bonus. It is not worth it. I did it one time at the beginning and I was extremely disappointed, because you put in all this work and it really doesn't get you anywhere. So I'd say it's a pretty fun game. I'd give it maybe around 4 out of 5 for a handheld game. It's definitely for like someone that's interested in these collection type games where you get the satisfaction of upgrading things. I would keep playing it, but I think I'm reaching that point where, as you can see, like, none of these ships are gonna be able to upgrade, and I just did the challenge. I got 90 octillion dollars, and here's another ad. So that was another ad. There are many ads in this game, but I just don't think I'm going to be able to get enough money. So let's say I get 90 octillion a day. That puts me at maybe 1 upgrade a day, right? 20, and I only go generally by 25s. And they have this new production efficiency factor here, which is interesting. I haven't really made that much use of it. They've been changing the game to give you more data, so I can also get back to you on what this information can be useful for. But I think I've quite optimized my alignment here, and I couldn't really find that many other people that got this far outside of those that just bought with diamonds. I've never been someone that wants to go out and buy all these tools for the game. It just feels like it's kind of a waste, you know. You kind of want to see what everything is at the end, and I'm almost there, and I unfortunately feel like it's not going to be that satisfying from playing this game, because it's just more of the same. We get into, octillions of dollars. It's something ridiculous. All the upgrades are just the same, and for that reason, that's why I took a star off this game, because I think the ads, and there's no, I've reached this point where there's no development of the game. There's nothing cool or new or exciting happening. It'd be great if once you reach this certain point, like I'd say I'm like 4/5 of the way through the game, that you get a little bit of something, a cool machine that's only accessible at this certain stage. It's I would say they're kind of lagging in that department. Oh, and one other thing here, if you're really in a jam for money or coin or money or diamonds, you can do these challenges. So let's see here. If I get 50 fire trucks, I get a general box. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. So this shouldn't take very long. There's another ad. All right. So there's another ad, and what I'll do here to speed this up is just put everything on tires. We got that there. And you can see some of these other machines are pretty cool, like with what they do. It's just hard to upgrade them, and upgrading them is the key to everything. So yeah, we're getting a lot right now. And it's just kind of a waiting game. You can click on this to see an advertisement. The money is not that great. I kind of just like to play idly now. I used to be more active in this game, and certainly at the beginning, you can be more active, but having it open like this doesn't really do you any good because you have to wait 4.5 hours to do the next challenge. So that's a limiting factor. You're not going to have fun just waiting on the game when you have to wait that long. So as you can see, I got more experience for the machine shredder, but I'm still about halfway there for the next upgrade. So that's all. If you have any questions, I'll happily respond. I think it's a pretty fun game, as I said. I travel quite a bit, so I try to find these things that can fill up some of my time, you know, when I'm waiting in the terminal. But yeah, please leave a comment, subscribe, leave a like, or even if you didn't like it, just let me know what I can change. Thanks. Peace.